Welcome to The Wave, presented by the Revere Chamber of Commerce. I'm Pat Lospinato, president of the Chamber.
And I'm Erica Porzio, executive director of the Chamber.
And I'm Amanda Bonasoro, events chair.
Now, the mission of the Chamber of Commerce has always been to promote economic progress and the quality of life in the city of Revere.
That's right, Pat. The Revere Chamber of Commerce is committed to offering valuable resources, events, networking opportunities, and other resources to help our businesses thrive in our community.
Yeah, we're extremely excited to announce this show, The Wave, which is going to showcase businesses in Revere. We're going to talk about a lot of our upcoming events and give you guys some more information about what the Chamber does, who we are, and how we're going to accomplish our mission together through this partnership with Revere TV.
That's right, and a special thank you to Revere TV for having us.
Awesome. Now, Amanda Bonasoro is our events committee chair, and she's going to share some of our upcoming events and information for you.
Awesome. So yes, we have some upcoming events that we've planned. So our summer soiree is going to be on June 15th at Easy Pie from 6 to 9, where we can enjoy some monster tots, specialty pizzas, 50-50 raffle, cash bar. It's going to be a great kickoff to summer. Nice little networking event, and we're very excited for that. And then we also, our upcoming workshops in June is going to be June 16th, which is an estate planning workshop. That's going to be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that is with attorney Bridget Flores. And then June 23rd at 6:30 p.m., it's going to be an immigration workshop with attorney Stephanie Vanilla. Chatting with the Chamber is something new that we kicked off a few months prior, and we have a few upcoming Chatting with the Chambers. These are hosted at the Chamber office. So July 21st is going to be Dandy Donuts. This starts at 9:30 to 11:30. So make sure you stop on by Friday morning and for some Dandy Donuts, meet the owners. It'll be a fun little time. And then the next one is going to be hosted on September 15th, and that is going to be with Bono Appetit Meal Prep, and that is actually my own personal
That's you,
business.
right?
That's
All
us.
right.
So
Yeah.
exciting, come on down. It's going to be 11:30, so we'll have a little luncheon, which will be nice. We're excited about that. And then the second annual Gala and Awards Night. This is what we're really excited for. So it's going to be a night around the town. Get ready at the Spring Hill Suites, and it's going to be a night full of just pretty much celebrating all small businesses in Revere and all of our hard work throughout the entire year. So that's going to be a nice end of the year celebration with the whole city.
What date was that?
That is going to be November 4th, Saturday, November 4th. So save the date. We're very excited for this upcoming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then also sponsorship packages.
Oh yeah, sponsorship
Yes.
packages. That is what we need to chat about. We are finalizing those, and the sponsorship packages are actually going to be sent out on June 1st. So keep an eye on your inbox, and we are getting ready and excited for that.
Can't wait.
Coming soon. Looking forward to it. Last year was a night to remember. Awesome time celebrating our award winners. A lot of hard work goes into our community, and it's just right that we give at least one night to celebrate the hardworking business owners and the progress that our city's made. Revere's come a long way.
And we would also like to touch upon our 3 new partnerships. Yes, that's right. So the Revere Chamber of Commerce is working with 3 partnerships right now. The first one, of course, being Revere TV. Special thank you to you guys again for having us, as we will be airing this show on a monthly basis, spotlighting our member businesses as well as board members throughout each month. Our second partnership is with Boston Cosmetic and Laser Center, who happens to be one of our newest Chamber member businesses. And they are offering for all Chamber members, they can receive 10% off full service and product purchases. We do ask, in order for Boston Laser and Cosmetic Center to verify your Chamber membership, please have on hand your Chamber membership card, which we supply with all members. If you need a new one, please come by the office and see me. And finally, RevereBeach.com. How could I forget? Good old Bob Upton. He has kindly partnered up with the Chamber of Commerce and is offering 10% off ad purchases on RevereBeach.com. And 10% of those sales proceeds will go back to the Chamber, which will help us further progress and support our business community. So that's the partnerships.
All right, thanks, Erica. Next up, we have a business spotlight, and our first guest is going to be Paul Bonfiglio of Bonfiglio Funeral Home. All right, we are very excited to be joined by Paul Bonfiglio, director of the Bonfiglio Funeral Home. He's a Revere firefighter. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you guys as being chamber members, and we're going to get to know him a little bit better.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Welcome, Paul. Glad to have you.
Thanks, Erica.
All right, so why don't we just jump right in and kind of learn a little bit more about the business that you and your family have had, and start with what's the history behind the company?
Yeah, so I'm the 5th generation Bonfiglio funeral director there. When my family came from Italy in the early 1900s, they were in Schenectady, New York for a brief time, and that's when they started the funeral business. And then in 1911, they came to Revere, and they actually operated out of a house on Mountain Ave. Because back then, they did funerals out of houses. So then, a little bit later on, we moved over to Revere Street, and we've been there ever since. Went to my great-grandfather, then my grandfather, my father, and now me and my father are there now.
Same address all those times?
Since the late 40s, we've been on Revere Street, I believe.
Tough industry to be a part of, I would imagine, on a day-to-day basis from my own personal just experience. How do you handle that?
I think just growing up in the business and going to work, I was very young when I started going to work with my uncle and my father, and just kind of watching them and their demeanor, and just, we have a good relationship with a lot of our families. You know, a lot of the people that come in aren't strangers. They've been coming to us for many years, and we have connections, whether they went to school with my relatives or just longtime friends. So it's always been personal to me. The whole business is it's a very personal experience. So I think just the fact that I grew up in it made it a little bit easier for me to feel comfortable. Okay. I would say.
And if you don't mind my asking, so I noticed that you guys are doing a lot of social media feeds, and I love that. You guys are really taking a stride in the funeral business as far as getting the word out there and reaching out to our community. So as you were saying, you know, your family has longtime roots in Revere, long-time established business, which, you know, the chamber, we appreciate that, and as well as being a chamber member. But so tell me, you know, how do you foresee the future? How do you guys have any plans moving forward?
Well, the business, the funeral industry as a whole has changed a lot over the years. You know, we used to have wakes 2 days. You would come in 2 to 4, 7 to 9. The next day, wake 2 to 4, 7 to 9. And the next day, have a funeral service with the church, cemetery. And we just find that families kind of want to condense things a little bit more. That's a lot. They're already going through a tough time, and they just kind of want to condense things, make things a little bit more simple, while still having a ceremony and something traditional to honor their loved one. So the biggest change, I think, is kind of just simplifying the process a little bit, and also cremation's the other big factor. So, for instance, when my father started out, they didn't really do cremation in Revere, you know. Now it's about 50-60% of the families that come to us do choose cremation. So that's the other big trend change that we've had.
You guys are now offering Spanish translations as well. So.
We do. We have a few bilingual staff members.
Wonderful.
One full time, Manny. He's from El Salvador. He's been here for over 20 years now, and he's there every day, all day with us. And then we have Maddie Alvarez, who's a kind of a community outreach specialist, helps with translation. And then we have a few other staff members that can speak Spanish as well that help out, because unfortunately that's one thing I can't do. When I was in the Navy, and I lived in El Salvador for almost a year, and I learned a little bit of Spanish, but I definitely cannot. I'm not fluent by any means.
Gotcha. Well, that's wonderful. I love that, and I love that you know, you guys are going with the trends now. Like I said, touching upon social media, really getting the exposure out there. So yeah, it's wonderful. If you don't mind my asking, I guess my next question would be, what are some of the challenges that you still face today? That
During the COVID pandemic, I would say just the volume of business that was coming in, it was kind of overwhelming almost for all the funeral homes in the area, and it was difficult because families weren't even allowed to have the services that they wanted. You know, people weren't allowed to go to hospitals. They weren't allowed to go to nursing homes, so they couldn't even go see their loved ones. And their loved one was alone. And then when it was time for the funeral, we were only allowed to have, I think, 12 people in the building. So that was very challenging. It was a challenging time for us, but I think that's behind us now.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, no, that couldn't imagine going through that. That was probably very difficult. I mean, just from a
It was
business
challenging
and
for everybody.
human perspective.
It was challenging for our families, especially, though.
Right. Now, that was how the pandemic kind of affected you. Some of the challenges you hit upon there. Revere. Why Revere? Any future and other establishments to come down the line for you, or and what keeps you tied to the community back here?
Well, I'm a Revere firefighter currently as well, so between the funeral home and Revere Fire Department, I'm very active, and I try to be active in the city.
Sounds like it.
Most of my family still lives here. Both sides of my family are from here. All my cousins, aunts, uncles, my sister lives here, so just very tied to the city. And yes, absolutely.
Love that. Any future outside of the city and other establishments?
Don't have any plans for that yet, but I do love this business, and I wouldn't rule it out. But my personal focus will always be here in Revere.
Love that. Love that. Any other?
Yeah,
things
I
you
mean,
have?
I could sit here all day and ask you a million questions.
Please.
I mean, 100 years, we know that much. Is there anything that you'd like to share with us today specifically about the business and, anything upcoming or?
I want to be a little more personable because everyone always sees me in my suit and tie, and I always have to, kind of be kind of solemn. But just want to introduce myself to everybody and let everybody know that I'm here. We just joined probably a little over a year ago, and it's amazing how much you guys do, how active you are. You're just a great resource for all the businesses here.
We appreciate having you, and we appreciate having Bonfiglio Funeral Home as part of the Chamber of Commerce. And we look forward to seeing your business continue to thrive in our community. And we appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Erica, and thank you, Pat.
It's been great being here with you guys, coming from the Wave. I'm going to turn it over to Erica for some final updates to be on the lookout for.
Thanks, Pat. Yeah. So for the updates, in order to stay abreast of our upcoming events, networking events, of course, workshops, seminars, all that good stuff, make sure you are tuning in to our monthly newsletter. If you haven't already subscribed, please go to our website at reverechamberofcommerce.org, and from there you can subscribe to our website. That is also where you will find our membership packages if you're interested in joining the Chamber. And as well, make sure you're tuning into our social media platforms. We are on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Thanks, Erica. And Amanda, what is it that our guests should be wearing to our summer soiree, if you don't mind?
Well, don't forget about the summer soiree on June 15th, and we're going to be wearing our summer best white attire. So don't miss out. Again, Monster Tots, specialty pizzas, a great night networking, 50-50 raffle, and cash bar. It's going to be a fun time.
We look forward to seeing you there, and thank you for joining us on The Wave.